What is the best definition of takt time? In this video, I'm going to give you a great analogy that you can use to really understand this concept. Most of the time I'm drawing on a whiteboard or a flip chart and accidentally killing trees. Sorry, everybody. But in this one, I'm going to talk to you verbally and make sure that I'm hitting it from all angles. So I'm going to talk to you about what it is and give you a great analogy. And if you're into that, stay with us. I'm super stoked about this. This is probably the best analogy. The trade partners are musicians in an orchestra, and the superintendent and the general contractor are the orchestra leader. And then you can build the entire analogy around that, right? You can build PMs and project directors and executives and general superintendents as orchestra managers and really look at it like this. If you're really leading a great orchestra, you don't need to tell the musicians how to play their instrument. Maybe a little bit like, hey, you know, what level are you at? But they are the experts at playing the instrument. And once they've auditioned, once they're bought out in a trade partner example, they're on your team. They need the studio or the building to actually play. They need the right sound system and the right acoustics. They need a clean area, a nice place to sit. They need to see their music, and they need to have all of the right things to play their music. And the other thing is they need the right rhythm. So environment and rhythm, that's what a general contractor's job is. That's what a project superintendent's job is. When you think of takt time, that's the rhythm. On a rhythm, and it's signified by a beat. In music, you'll understand that by the cadence, by the notes. You'll literally see the conductor waving their baton, right? And on a construction site, you'll hear it with the takt time drum beat. It's the time. It signifies rhythm. Takt is an older German word that signifies rhythm because it means baton, and it really means that you're keeping everybody in rhythm, or like a metronome, that you're at pace, okay? And so the best analogy, the best description is to basically put it into that orchestra analogy. If you don't have a great orchestra leader or choir leader or conductor, then all of the different musicians know how to play their music but won't be in sync. I like to tell this story. I'm a Dave Matthews Band fan, and he said, oh my gosh, when we were first a band, we were out of sync. We didn't know how to play with each other. We were horrible. If you would have heard us, you would not know that we would end up being successful. And I always remember that. That's like a job site without rhythm. And then, have you ever heard these orchestras or these choirs or these bands, and they are just on it? You know, the other day I saw a Coldplay concert with one of the best experiences of my life. And the singer, the lead singer, Chris Martin, is in sync with his band members, and they're in sync with the overall audio and the acoustics and the timing and all of the fireworks and everything else that they have going on and the lights on your wristbands. It was all in rhythm. That's takt. If you don't have takt on a job site, you're not in rhythm. You're going fast and then stopping and then restarting and then go over here and then stop that and let's rechange over here. It's just chaos. And we all know that according to the law of the effect of variation, we know that the more variation you have, the longer things take. So if you go to a project site and you see everybody flowing beautifully through the project, you know the builder knows what they're doing. If it's all chaotic and all over the place, change here, go there, do that, oh, we can't do that, we don't have that information, the builder does not know what they're doing. They're out of rhythm. And so we have to make sure we understand that. Now, takt time indicates how fast something can get done. In manufacturing, let's just say that they're producing a single product of something, right? It's how many of these can they take through the process steps and produce. But in construction, the building is stationary, so the trades come through on the takt time, and then at the end, you'll have the rate of production. How many units, how many flats, how much square foot of this building can you produce on a takt time? And so if you use the takt time, you'll be flowing beautifully through the phase on a construction project. Now, the cycle time, which is how long it takes a crew to produce one thing, in this case a process or a work package, that has to fit within the takt time. So if this is the cycle time and this is the takt time, you should have a little bit of buffer there to finish, to inspect, to clean, to train the crew, to demobilize. They're not the same thing, okay? And the takt time is there as a guide to make sure that we know the speed, we know the rhythm, and in construction nowadays, you can actually predict it with the formulas that we use. And so one of the ways that you can look at it is a takt time is when does one crew need to move from one zone to another and in sequence with each other through the building in order to hit the end date. Oh my gosh. So good. That's the way to look at it. That's why we focus so hard on handoffs when one trade is handing off a zone to another and pulling them in to that other zone. So if you have a takt time on your project site and it's not going to stay 5 days, it's never going to be on the weekends as a forced thing, and it should be in the middle of the week. Let's say you have a 4-day, 3-day takt time, right? What you'll see is, hey, the trade moves in and has 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. At the end of the 3 days, they move. And the other trade moves in behind them. You know, if you have a project where every time you move from zone to zone, that's on a 3-day rhythm, you have a 3-day takt time. Now, the normal formula for takt time in manufacturing is the available time divided by the demand. But in construction, it's takt wagons plus takt zones minus 1 multiplied by the takt time equals the duration. We have calculators for that, so you can identify how long your phase can be depending on how large your zone sizes are. Now let's talk about what takt time is not. It is not the cycle time. It is not how long it takes the crews to do the work. The cycle time has to fit within the takt time, but a takt time is not cycle time. The takt time is actually not just a schedule or a bar chart. It can accidentally look that way, but your takt time in a takt plan with takt steering and control in the takt production system is actually a production system. It's not a Gantt chart, it's not just a schedule, and it's definitely not CPM. The other thing it's not is it's not optional. If you want flow, you've got to have your trains of trades be on a rhythm. Now, if you have a phase which has its own unique zones, you can have multiple organizations of trades. Maybe you have one that's 20 activities long, 5, 3, whatever, and it's going to run through that phase. You can have multiple trains of trades with their own takt time running through the phase, but you can only have one phase with its own unique zones. It's powerful because it gives you a framework to know when you're handing off. It gives you a rhythm. It allows you to level the work of the trades and to package them properly. It allows you to level your zones. It allows you to calculate how many zones you should ideally have, because as your zone sizes get strategically and responsibly smaller, your overall phase duration gets smaller. And typically what you'll see on a project site is you'll see a takt plan. And if you have takt steering and control, then what you'll have is you'll have meetings that indicate when that takt time drumbeat hits. You will have handoff walks making sure that we're handing off zones properly, and we will have updated production plans in the form of a look ahead and a weekly work plan, tracking metrics like the perfect handoff percentage. And so that's really what you'll have on your job site. Now let me say something. If you're like, J Money, you are crazy. There's nobody that benefits better than the trade partner. You will make so much money if you do this. There's no humans that benefit more than the project team. You will get home to your families if you do this. And there's nobody that benefits more than these companies and their finances, because it will reduce your costs and make you so much money. We've got to stop fighting takt planning. Do not listen to your corporate CPM schedulers or your schedulers or even your lawyers and your legal counsel that say you have to do CPM. They are wrong. Why fight a court case when you can prevent it in the first place? Takt planning is not optional if you want to do it well in construction. And so I just want you to know, all of our clients that are implementing this are seeing the gains. We are recovering from delays. We are hitting our end dates. We are respecting people. We are getting people home on time. It is the way. And so we have to properly understand what the definition is if we're going to implement it. Now here's a bonus. There's a book called Takt Planning and Takt Steering and Control, meaning one book is Takt Planning and then Takt Steering and Control. These will explain exactly how to implement the system. We've got a staff of 60 people that can help you implement it. We've got free guides, YouTube channels, Discord servers, anything you would need to implement it. Just reach out to me in the comments and I will hook you up. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.